While we're here, let's introduce our volunteers and team members. So we have Erin Lash. She is responsible for education. Still,
Yes,
Erin, yeah?
I handle the education at ISSA.
Awesome. You have Libby DeLucian, myself. Trying to think who else is here. Jeannie. Jeannie is a volunteer for us as well. I know we don't have Holly, but I think she's been volunteering. Who else do we have?
The only other person, and he might be like the man behind the mask. Let me see. We have Jeff Cross from our media team.
There we go.
Is on the call here today. And so any articles you read from ISSA, all the straight talk videos, like Jeff Cross is all over our media. So he's popping in today to kind of hear what's going on here. So welcome, everybody.
Welcome. Libby, do you want to introduce speakers?
Sure. I will introduce. Yes, I want to introduce the first speaker because, well, he went off and had a baby. So we were getting together quite often, and then he had to go off and have another baby. How many do you have now?
4 and counting. No, I'm just kidding. 4.
Four and counting. Oh, four. And he's like, Libby, I can't travel no more because I stay home and take care of the baby.
No,
and then I see him off like in Colombia and other places, and I'm like, sure. But anyways, I'll get back on track. So I want to introduce today's speaker, Paul. He is going to be speaking at ISSA about beyond the surface, right? Unlocking hidden potential in your cleaning team. So Paul is a U.S. Army veteran and a former law enforcement officer. And he's really passionate about, and if you can't tell by how in shape he is, about structure and discipline. And so this has really helped to shape every aspect of his professional journey. He's very detail oriented, but he has the natural ability to learn. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him speak in person. I did before I actually knew who he was. And it was at, I'm going off script, but it was at QDS. And it was Paul and Dom showed up in these suits and they captivated the audience. By far, it was like the best. And I was one of the speakers, but they were the best speakers there. And so if you have not seen him speak in person, you really need to make sure you get to the ISSA convention this year, because you're going to have the opportunity to see him in person. So Paul, take it away.
Wow, that was a big introduction. I hope I live up to all those amazing words. And Libby, I know I said it, I think it was at the murder mystery thing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
We'll get together. I'm going to make it a point that we find a reason to be on a yacht together. That's the goal. All right. Well, thank you very much for introducing me. So I've been in the space in the cleaning industry. My first cleaning company was actually when I was 18 years old. I lost my job. I was following this beaten path for this nonprofit. You start with them, they put you through college, and you come back and you work as a teacher. And that's what I thought I was going to do for a long time. And this is around 08, 09. I ended up losing my job during field day for they said it was a layoff, but I know I was being fired. Walked all the way home, had $200 in my pocket. I'm like, what am I going to do? What are we going to do? I was with my girlfriend, now wife, and we decided, well, we're going to start researching what's a low barrier entry business to get into. And we found cleaning. So we took the $200 that we had and we bought $200 worth of cleaning supplies. That was the way we thought was the best way to do it. Ended up putting ads on Craigslist. And at the time I was making $10 an hour. We thought, you know what? Let's charge $30 for a 3-hour clean. The two of us, we're going to charge $30 for a 2-hour clean. And it didn't last very long. One day we looked at each other going back and forth to the houses, and we said, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. We were underpricing, overworked. Plus, we were 18-year-old kids. We didn't want to clean houses anyways. But fast forward years later, I'm in the military, coming back, and I'm thinking there was something there. There was something in this industry that we didn't tap into that we could have done the right way. So I had at the time started reading E-Myth. Many of you probably heard of the E-Myth. And I got the McDonald's manual after reading this book. And I started trying to understand systems a little bit more. And the military helped me a lot with systems. And I decided I'm going to come back we're going to start this business, but we're not going to clean. We're going to build a business. And that's what we started doing. And there's been a lot of bumps in the road. And one thing I want to share is that I'm still learning. Like, this is a journey for me. It's a process for me. And even as we talk about unlocking the potential within your team, it's something that we're focusing on every day and really fine tuning and working on. So I don't have all the answers. And I may have a perspective right now that a few months later, somebody shares something with me, or I learn something, and that perspective shifts. But my goal is to share as much as I've learned up to this point, and hope that as I develop within my own self and as I learn from other people, that I can share those things as well. Plus, I want to learn. I think one of the reasons why I love speaking is the Q&A afterwards and the feedback and what I can do better. I take so much from it as I give. I feel like I get more from speaking than I give. So with that said, the thing that we started to realize recently, and I say recently, it's been about the past 12 months, is that the only person that wins in a small company are the business owners. And we started off, we're going to build this business, and it kind of shifted towards a lifestyle business. We wanted to get to that number that everybody in the cleaning space talks about, 1 million. We want to get to 1 million. We want to get to 1 million. And you get to that number and you realize, well, we're living pretty comfortable. We're able to take some trips and do certain things better than we were able to do. But how about our team members? And we all know that this industry tends to be high turnover, very high. And one of the reasons for that is there's really no room for growth. And in our company, that's what we've been shifting. We've been thinking about, it's how do we provide an opportunity for our team members to win? And they can only do that in a larger company. And what does that look like? How many locations does that look like? Do we give our team members an opportunity to franchise within our own company, which is things that we're developing right now? So we started realizing that we were churning people at 3 months. Then once we worked on certain things, it got to 6 months, and we started getting to 2 years, and our good people were starting to get burnt out, and they were leaving. There was really no room for them to grow because we kind of stayed at the same place. And I used to say, well, I mean, hey, if they turn around 2 years, that's when they're getting their 2 weeks vacation and higher pay anyway. So we'll get more people and we'll be more profitable. But that wasn't a winning strategy to building a lasting business. So this is exactly what we're focused on. This is what I want to be able to share with you guys comes November at ISSA, what we're doing in our company, how we've done it from our career ladders to promotion to nurturing team members. I had a oh man, I can't remember his name. Oh my goodness. Ard is his last name. Locke, yes. How did I forget his name? Literally. I don't know how I forgot that. I think I'm nervous, guys. If I'm speaking fast, it's probably because I'm nervous. But Locke Ard had a conversation. He had a talk that he did at QDS in 2019. And he said that your best employees are already in your business. And I thought, no, I don't know. That's BS. We got to look for the best, and we got to get rid of the people that just aren't cutting it. But we started to look at his approach a little bit more in developing people. And you started realizing that when you give people an opportunity to win, when you believe in them genuinely, not BS, because people can sense BS. When you genuinely care about people, you give them the opportunity to win your company, and they start to buy in. They start to buy in on the vision. They start to buy in on the mission. They start to buy in on the core values. And those people start to defend the organization from the people that would come into your organization, whether it's team members or clients, that would ruin that culture. And that's the journey that we're on. And we don't have it all figured out, but this is a step that we're taking every single day. And I think we're doing some pretty cool things, and I can't wait to share that with you guys.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Paul. We are excited to hear you speak at convention. So far, you are scheduled for Tuesday between 10:30 to 11 on the show floor. So if you want to hear Paul speak, that's definitely where you can find him. Is Wendy still here? Did we
Here.
lose her? Okay. All right. Awesome.
One more thing, whoever's on the media team needs to erase the fact that I forgot Locke's name, because that's bad. All right.
That happens to all of us. I will say, Paul is speaking at, like Lacey said, 10:30 on the show floor, and that follows, like is everybody, if anybody isn't aware of, like, is there anybody here that's never heard of the ISSA show before? Because I know there's some first timers on here. So is there anybody that is not aware what the show is? Because I think we could give you never. Okay, no, you should.
All right.
No, let's Olivia and Lacey, do you want to talk about what the show is, and then we can kind of do an overview of like how we do our programming, and because that way people kind of understand it better.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you've never been to convention, it's definitely something you need to put on your budget and your agenda. It's huge, huge, huge for your business and the cleaning industry as a whole. So you're going to see tons and tons of vendors, tons and tons of education, residential and commercial. So both ends of the business. It's just massive. It's huge for your business. So Livy, what do you want to add?
It's a little overwhelming if you've never been there, because it is so large. The residential section, ISSA residential has their own section within convention. But a tip that I didn't know this until last year is take some money. You can get some really great deals on like vacuums, supplies, floor scrubbers. They're on location, and they ship them back to you, but you have to purchase them there. And I was like, man, I missed out on some good deals for some vacuums and some other things. So make sure that that you don't get overwhelmed. And always ask for help. Reach out to someone here. We're always happy. We have a volunteer table, and myself manned it the first day in a showgirl outfit. So if you were there, that was me. I'm always a little extra. So there's always it was Las Vegas. I was like, I gotta make a lasting impression. So there's always a volunteer at the ISSA table or booth. So if you feel overwhelmed or you just want help, don't hesitate to ask. Come to the table. One of our faces will be there to kind of just help guide you, because it is a little overwhelming. There's a lot of people, and the show floor is huge, but there's nothing like it. And I've been to a lot of conventions, conferences, masterminds, coaching. There's nothing that compares.
Yeah, the ISSA show, I put the link and everything in, and I plan to send that at the end. But the ISSA show this year is November 10th to the 13th. We are it's Las Vegas, Nevada. We're at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. It's an annual event. I don't even know. I'm not even sure how long they've been doing it, but it's been, I want to say 30 years, but I could be totally wrong on what the dates are for this. But it is a cleaning convention for everybody in the cleaning industry. So we create lots of opportunity for you to connect with your residential peers at the event, but there's also chances to meet the BSCs, the manufacturers, the distributors. Like Libby said, the show floor, we have over 600 exhibitors on the show floor, and it is everything from, you'll find salt to melt ice. You'll find, any kind of a cleaning kit that you're looking for, consultants, software. I mean, it's just HR solutions. It is absolutely everything that you could want
software
in the cleaning industry. So, take the time to, look at the show. Like right now we have our early bird registration. The prices will only go up from now. So I encourage you, if you are a member of ISSA, to register. If you're not a member of ISSA, please reach out to me. And I just see Alejandra Gramajo from our ISSA team. She is our residential she's our residential representative, and so she is on the call now. So you could always ask her questions if you have any about membership, about the show. But I think Libby, you said it's overwhelming. The one thing, my first show was like, I was like, it's like baptism by fire hose. Like it is just, it's a lot coming at you. So I would lean into this group and these calls and find out, what you need to know, where you want to be. But as Paul said, he speaks at 10:30 in the morning. We have education all day on Monday at the show. But then on Tuesday, the show floor opens, and we always open with residential networking. from 10 to 10:30 in the morning. We do some giveaways. We do, some networking opportunities. We'll have speakers there. It's a great opportunity to really plug into your residential. And then we break right away and we head into our education. And we have a great residential education. I love what our show committee does every year. They do a great job of, keeping some familiar faces, but then finding new speakers and also staying on top of what are the topics that we need to have at the show. So they do a great job with that. And I think this year is no different. So I'm very excited. And today, we've already heard from Paul, but we have 2 other speakers that are going to be at the show this year that are new faces to this crowd. So I'm really excited about that too. So I'll let you guys talk again. I just wanted to get a plug in there for about the show because I realized that not everybody might know about it.
Great reminder. And Jeannie also said, make sure to download the app. The app saved my life, and wear comfortable shoes is my last tip.
Yeah,
I wore high heels the first year and I was like, oh my God, I think I tracked 17 miles on my my watch. So now the high heels go on my backpack. Lacey, do you want to introduce Ray?
absolutely. Ray Malaski, let me see. So he is the CEO of Get Cleaning Clicks, which is a marketing agency which helps cleaning businesses grow through SEO, Google Ads, Facebook advertising, web design, and email marketing. He's the author of best known main service, the ultimate marketing guide for house cleaning business owners, which is designed to help cleaning business owners generate more leads and increase revenue for online marketing. He's a fellow Michigander as well. So welcome, Ray. Several podcasts he's been on, and he's sharing his expertise on marketing strategies for cleaning businesses. So welcome, Ray. Take it away.
Thanks, Lacey. Good to be here. Yeah, so my first show I attended was in 2015, I believe. And I started my cleaning business in 2012. So I've been in this industry a very long time. The book is on Amazon. Oh, yeah, the book is on. You can find it on Amazon, Best Known Maid Service. So, I started as a cleaning business owner, getting into it pretty much for the same reason like Paul was talking about. It was a low barrier of entry. My wife was really good at it. It made perfect sense, right? I had no idea what I was doing, no idea where to go, what to do. I joined the ISSA. I remember back in the day, well, it was the ARCSI back then. And they had these, Facebook just came out and we were just starting to learn it. And they created these little micro Facebook groups for companies of similar sizes. And then they put us in it. And I remember me and Martha were in one of the groups together, just, man, I've met some great people, built some great relationships, and, fell in love with this industry, honestly, just the openness in the industry and people's willingness to help each other and go out to have conversations and give you advice without charging. And just, the energy is just awesome, so I fell in love with the industry, right? So I got my maid service. I'm trying to figure all this marketing stuff out. At this point, I didn't even know what SEO was. I didn't know what Google Ads was. I hired YP.com, I think it was at the time, or maybe it was Hubu, I can't remember, but they were like, oh, we'll run your PPC campaigns. Well, back then Google wasn't what it was, right? So they had their yellowpages.com where they ran their own paid ads, thinking that they had enough traffic, but they couldn't get you enough volume. So I was getting leads from 100 miles away, and they were calling these good leads. And I'm like, no, they're not good leads. I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out, right? I did find a pretty good website company, a good SEO company, but the paid ads was just not happening. So I had to go in and actually create my own and figure that out. And I remember when you first start your company, you kind of don't even know what kind of company you are going to be, right? And my wife and I were sitting on the couch and the phone rings, and I forgot that I set up a Google My Business profile. And I answered it, and they're like, is this Missy's Maids? I was like, yeah, 1 second, and handed it to the wife. I had no idea what to do and totally just put her on spot. So, we got our first job there. I ran the paid ads, and then we got our second job. Second job was a hoarding job, which I decided after we finished that, it took us 2 weeks. I charged $3,000. And it was like, okay, we don't want to do that anymore. You know, so we were going through those phases of growth and just kind of understanding the industry. There wasn't anything, there was no kind of data like there is now. There wasn't these powerful Facebook groups. There weren't these like dominant industry leaders. You were kind of just flailing, you know? So it's nice to see where this has turned around to. But eventually I got really good at the marketing. And then my peers are like, hey, Ray, can you help me with my marketing? And I'm, of course, yes, I can, right? Let me help you. You know, a lot of it was for free initially, you know, just trying to do what's good for everybody else. And before you knew it, I had a full-time job working 70 hours a week. We had our maid service, which was like kind of like a side hustle. And then we had our marketing company that started by accident. I quit my full-time job. We sold the maid service, and I went all in on marketing in 2017, and I haven't looked back. I love it. It's my passion. I think a lot of people don't understand it to the level that I do, and I enjoy helping people understand those numbers and be a very collaborative partner with them. Like, look, let's pull this in. Let's put our thinking caps on. Let's try to understand our numbers, try to understand our growth, create a system that's measurable, and let's go do it, right? If your goal is to hit 500K, let's do it. If it's to hit 1 million, let's do it. If it's 2, if it's 4, if it's 6, whatever your goal is, there's a plan out there. But a lot of people just don't know where to go with that, you know? So it starts with tracking your dollars, knowing your marketing. The question isn't like, should I have Facebook ads running? Yes, you should. Somebody will say, I tried them, they didn't work. That's not what marketing is. You always have to be doing it. I tried billboards, I didn't get anything from it. No, you have a marketing budget. It's 10% of revenue, or depending on your goals, right? Could be 5%, you know, if you're a $4.5 million company, might be closer to 2 or 3%. But you've always got to be marketing. Even if it's not working, you still have to be marketing. Like, you've got to figure it out. And there is a clear path. We have cracked this code. We know where it's at. And I just want everybody else to know where it's at too, so that they don't have to struggle like I struggled when I started.
Awesome. Thank you, Ray. And Ray will be speaking on Wednesday, November 12th at 10:30 a.m. for anyone who's interested in the business solutions section. So it's definitely a speak or a teach that we don't want to miss. Ray, I love your story and your background of how you started. I think we all started very, very similar. And the phrase that you said that just made me laugh inside or just smile is like when people say, oh, that doesn't work for me. Oh, that doesn't work for me. Everyone thinks their business is special like a snowflake. But in reality, snowflakes are made of one of the most made up of the most common element, which is water. So our businesses at a sense are all special, but they're all the same at the same time.
Yeah, they absolutely
similar.
are, you know, like my market's unique, you know, my people aren't on Facebook. Let me tell you, your people are everywhere. They're walking the streets, they're eating hot dogs, they're in meetings, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on Google, they're on ChatGPT. They are everywhere. But guess what? Wherever your business isn't, you're missing them. Right? So that's a missed opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you. Lacey, do we want to jump straight to Allie and I can introduce her?
Yep.
Okay, make sure you guys stick around because we will be going into breakout rooms if you guys have some individual questions. So I'll introduce Allie Williamson, and she's going to be speaking about excelling to 4 million in sales off of grassroots branding and social media. I love this topic. And one of the great things about going to the in-person events was I got to see Allie's beautiful smile in person. And that laugh, it's captivating when she walks in a room. She is the founder of Southern Domestic Diva, a successful entrepreneur, and a champion for her community. She's built a career and a legacy around helping others succeed. Beyond that, she is a published author. And I love this about her. Her book is the Southern Diva Cookbook, a collection of recipes from influential women. I think that's amazing. I really love that idea. Her leadership isn't just about business growth, it's about people. Whether she's mentoring employees or advocating for better opportunities, she's always making sure her team feels valued. Allie's impact is Allie's impact, is undefined. I lost my place. Sorry. She believes in celebrating her people with her legacy diva parties. I want to know what that is actually. What is a diva party? You can tell us about that, because my inner bougie wants to go to one. And she's always finds a way to bring people together. Enforcing Southern Domestic Diva is more than a company, it's a family.
I love it. Thank you so much, Libby. And it was such an honor meeting you too. And I loved your showgirl outfit. It was very divalicious. And so I'm like, I don't know who that is, but that's a statement and I need to meet her. And so I had quite a time, and I do second the flats. I tried to be that diva walking through ISSA with my heels on. And yeah, that lasted about 3 hours. And I spent a lot of money. So my CFO is already like preparing us. We know Allie's going to spend some money in November. So come with your budgets in mind. And I'm so excited to be here today and be able to share with you. As she said, my name is Allie. A lot of people do know of me as the Southern Diva. My story started at the young age of 9 years old. I had a crazy grandmother. She was not like normal grandmother. She was always smoking Virginia Slim cigarettes and baking Southern pecan pies. And not just one pecan pie, but there were always at least 3 in the oven. And the thing about Mossy Hattie is she would make me a big bowl of Pine-Sol water, and she would convince me that cleaning was literally wiping the nicotine off the walls. So my cleaning love started at the age of 9, and I cleaned all through high school, all through college. And just like a lot of you, you get to that aha moment in your career where I was let go of a sales job. And of course I was let go of the sales job because I spent all of my time after my 9 to 5 cleaning. I was preparing meals. I was organizing closets. I mean, I even went to the limits of scooping poop in the backyards to make a little extra money. And so when I was released from that sales job, it was all just coming back to me that all of the years of my grandmother's traditions, what she installed in me, cleaning all through high school and college, cleaning on weekends, it was all part of it for the birth of Southern Domestic Diva, which I started in 2014. And I'm just going to be point clear with you. I scaled my business from 300,000 to 4 million in 3 years from branding alone. I did not have a budget. As most of us know, cash flow is such an issue with starting a cleaning company. I didn't have a budget for the marketing firm. I didn't have the SEO, the Facebook, the Google ads, all of that. But what I did have was real authentic branding, in your face, unstoppable, full on, full out branding. So if I could paint you a picture, today I pulled up in a red Mercedes. I keep red nail polish on my nails at all times. I have red lipstick that my Southern Mississippi mama has required me to wear my whole life. I have a red dress on, but if you were to go out in the field right now, I have residential divas in red shirts, red scrunchies, the red O-Cedar mop buckets, driving a red car. And if they are seeing a new client, they're bringing with them, as I told you about the pecan pie, they're bringing a thank you Southern pecan pie. That's my grandmother's traditions with a little note attached. We're so glad that you've chosen to be a diva client. This is from my heart to yours, my grandmother's traditions, who taught me how to clean. So the thing about branding that stands out the most to me, and I feel like I have been successful and hopefully can help other people be successful, are the details. My details go so far into what my divas are wearing out in residential homes, to where if you walked onto a construction site, my divos who clean for me, my male cleaners, they have red hard hats on, red vest. They might be leaving behind a red mini pie with the QR code that says Southern Domestic Diva, made with love. And it all tells this same story, at that a diva was here. And so with that branding, I like to put diva everywhere. Even my chat GBT, her name is Diana, she refers to me as diva. So I just came from doing a branding speech, and my chat GBT talked to the entire crew as the new squad of divas. So with branding being so strong in town in Nashville, I'm known as Here Comes the Southern Diva with her pecan pie, because I was consistent with it. I didn't show up just one time with my red lipstick and pie on, my pie in hand. I showed up every single time. And yes, it was so uncomfortable walking into job trailers with 25 men sitting around, and I have this obnoxious red hard hat on, and the pecan pies dripping Cairo syrup in my fake Louis Vuitton bag. But you know who walked away with the $600,000 project? It was the diva with the red lips with the pecan pie, because that stood out more than the other cleaner there with just the clipboard, and they remembered it. And now I have construction men that call me and say, can I get 10 divas out on this construction site? I never in my life thought I would get construction men to be asking for divas to come and do a cleanup. So with the branding being so strong, I then translated that into social media. And if anybody follows me on social media, you would think I was a micro influencer, because I take a lot of pride in putting up stories. I document from 4 a.m. when I'm working out to the hard times when my depression kicks in because I'm at the top of the ladder and sometimes it gets lonely up there, to when I'm out networking. And I have constantly captured that since I started in my basement in a double garage with no money, with only 5 people on my team when I was out cleaning, to where I'm still capturing it when I have my diva celebrations, diva fiestas, and we have our whole team of 85 there. So I think that, you know, you have to remember that is, you have to stand out in the social media. You have to be consistent with it. People not only want to know that you are a cleaning service, because guess what? Just like Libby said, we're all out there and we all offer the same thing, but they want more of a touch into what's your life. Well, how does Allie handle running a multi-million-dollar business? What structures does she have in place that makes her successful? And by showing that, it makes them more engaged with not just the cleaning. They can go to my page and see cooking videos, cleaning tips. They can see our fiestas. They can see me strolling my puppy around in a pink stroller in Miami, because I love to go to Miami any chance I get. And it makes it more relatable. So then when the cleaning comes up in conversation later, people think, let's call the diva. Oh yeah, I've had her pie before. They might not know I have a cleaning company, but they've seen me on social. They know about my pie. Just like Libby said, she remembered that I wore pearl covered pants with some heels the first day, you know, and we both remembered each other because of that, because of standing out in our brand colors and being authentic. So hopefully this is just a tidbit of what I'm going to share at the conference, but hopefully this resonates with you today. Some other social media tips that I get a lot of questions about this, tips I could give is, if you're not comfortable with it, you're not just comfortable with putting the camera in front, hire somebody to do it for you. Drop it into a shared album. You don't know how many clips I drop into a shared album, and I have an intern on the back end that's putting that up on my stories for me when I am with my hair on fire and I can't post stories all the time. Make a plan that makes you do it. Book those media days and don't let yourself back out of it, even if you're feeling a little chubby, or even if you're not feeling yourself that day and the world might be blowing up. You have to do it because it's a free platform and everyone else is doing it. It's right there for you. Another tip I give is I never really listen back to myself. So I might record a story. I don't listen. I don't like to look. I put my captions up, I put it down, and I try to be intentional when I get on social media to look at other accounts that are going to make me better, that I inspire to be, influencers that do that, because I'm telling you, we can all be so critical of ourselves, and that's not the point. And if you're doing stories, they delete them 24 hours, so who really cares, you know? And I think when it comes down to it, people really like the authentic way of doing it. They like when you come to the table with no makeup on and you tell the real story about how hard it is to build a company from nothing, with negotiating people to show up and things of that nature. So hopefully this resonates, and it's just a little piece of what I'm going to share. But I'm so excited for the opportunity and feel like I have a little bit of background behind me with the whole show and everything. So
Awesome. Allie, thank you so much. I think we have some stuff in common because it's so easy to stand out on social media. And I think we need this as cleaning companies because there's so many cleaning companies and we're so like cookie cutter looking on social media and on websites, like with stock pictures, and that if you're somewhat like over the top, and I don't mean like crazy over the top, like not polarizing over the top, but so we're orange and black, and there's no other cleaning company that really they're orange and black, but we've been able to like really, like I walk around town and they're like, you're the orange lady. I mean, I'd rather be known for other things than the orange lady. And then like customers will send us pictures of stuff. I saw this in the store and I thought of you. I saw this lawn chair and it was orange and I wanted to send it to you. It's so easy to stand out, and a lot of people push back because they're not comfortable in front of the camera or comfortable being the face of their brand. But that's actually what makes us different, and it makes hiring and attracting customers, right fit employees and right fit customers, so much easier.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
That was fun.
love this. I look forward to your talk. Lacey, do we know when she is talking? The ants are
Yes,
biting.
I have you on Wednesday between 2:30 and 3:30, and she's in the education rooms. So if you
That's
want to see
awesome.
Allie, that's where you can look for her. The name of her presentation is Excelling to 4 million in Sales off of Grassroots Branding and Social Media. So if you open up your planner and you're already registered, you can find her by the presentation title and put it in your planner.
I think we still have time. Does anybody have questions for any of the speakers? Because I know I've got a couple of things, but like, you know, if you don't want to, I mean, feel free to just ask the question now, because it obviously, like we said, this is coffee and conversation. So if you have a question for any of our speakers, please go ahead and ask it now. You can put it in the chat. The one thing that stood out to me, Ray, and you were talking about, like, you know, being on Google and Facebook. I feel like the formula has changed, because so many people, like what you might have said like 2 years ago, is that drastically different today?
No, not yet. It
No?
will be. It will be in the near future. I don't think we know what that future looks like. You know, as here's the thing, like Facebook's not going anywhere. But AI does have a play in the game now. And our clients are already getting leads from AI. But the thought is, where are they getting that data from? They're getting it from Google. They're getting it from Facebook. So if you've already been dominant in there, that's where they're pulling it, right? Facebook, I'd say for the last 3 years, nothing's really changed. Same campaigns work, same landing page structure, same targeting. It all works the same as it did 3 years ago. Google Ads, that's a whole nother animal. Now, that has changed. Google, a couple of years ago, literally grabbed the switch and said, increase the cost per click. And they just turned it up. And this is documented that this happened. So your average cost per lead almost doubled. So you went from somewhere around 20 to 25 up to some as high as 50 per lead. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, like Facebook, Google, SEO is still the number one. SEO is still where you will get most of the leads. The kind of SEO has changed though, right? It's more review based. So if you're not out there
Oh.
hustling the crap out of reviews, like my clients are getting 30 some reviews a day. So if you're not out there hustling reviews that hard, you are leaving money on the table. That's the one thing that has changed is the review game.
Those can be powerful. We hear a lot of talk about reviews and, you know, getting the reviews and, you know, dealing with, how do you deal with a bad review?
Yeah. You know, you deal with it, right? I think in those bad reviews are the greatest opportunities to know what kind of company culture you are and what kind of boss you are and what kind of company they want to work with. So if you answer that with diligence and authority and respect, people see that, right? That's the kind of person I want to buy from.
It looks like Albert has a question. Go ahead and, yep, there you go.
Hi, thank you. Yes, I have a question for you, Mr. Ray. I had a bad experience. I'm in my early stage in the business. I launched like 2 months ago. All the clients I have got so far have been just door by door, flyers, Nextdoor, and Craigslist. I decided to go for Google local ads, that you pay per calls. I haven't been a very nice experience. I had to stop it because it was literally like getting all my money for. I spent more than $1,000 for only 11 calls that I only was able to convert just one. And I went there because they told you that they will give you high quality leads. But I got calls from somebody looking for employment. I got calls from people looking for cooking service, or people that didn't have enough money to pay for it, for the cleaning services. So I just was losing it. And when I tried to argue with them, like telling them that this lead wasn't high quality, they never will give the money back like they tell you they will do. So what do you think is this?
So first of all, congratulations on the hustle. And I want to talk about Allie and what she was talking about. A lot of times that's probably 80% of what you should be doing at your stage, maybe even 100%, right? I have talked to first of all, we've worked with hundreds of cleaning businesses. I have talked to thousands of cleaning businesses over the years. And out of those thousands, there's two that stand out. There were two that hit $1 million and didn't even have a website. What's that say to you? That says out of pure hustle, you can get there, right? So don't ever forget that. Shaking hands locally, attending your local parade, right? Borrow somebody's truck, borrow somebody's trailer, put your logo on that, go down that parade route as proud like you're $1 million company, throw your t-shirts out there. These times in your business is when you put in the sweat equity to help you grow. I want you to get to a point where you don't care about that $1,000 that you spent. Doesn't bother you, right? We know your budget's $1,000. We know we spent it. We know we didn't get much this month, but you know what? Next month you might. And maybe the month after you might. And it may take 4 months for you to get that money back. This isn't a one and done deal. You don't just try it. The leads come in. I spent $1,000. I didn't make anything. You keep going. You keep pushing forward. LSA has changed because the level of competition that's out there now is through the freaking roof. And it's the easiest path to lead generation right now. So because of that, the competition is out there. The cost per leads are like when I first started this, before LSA even came out, Google contacted me and wanted to work with us and introduce us to this LSA person. They were telling us about programs they were coming out. And they were trying, I didn't realize this, but they were using us to determine what the cost per lead was going to be for LSA. And our average cost per lead at that time was between $15 and $20. And so that they put $20. All right, we're going to use Ray's numbers and we're going to launch LSA, and $20 a lead is what it's going to be. And that's what it was for many years. That's not the same anymore, man. And employment, for some reason, is infecting paid ads, like hardcore. It seems like sometimes up to 20-30% of your calls could be employment, even with the right filtering on. Now, they have put some new filters in recently to kind of subside those, which I do see it helping. So, but you know, good leads, bad leads, hiring ads, they're all part of it. It's gonna happen, right? But just do your hustle. You can get to
I want
20.
to contribute to the hustle and just let Albert know I got to my first million in my cleaning company just off of a BNI networking alone. Like I didn't have paid ads. I didn't have Google AdWords or LSA or anything. I got it through just hustling through BNI. And then I got to that first million, and then I added all the other things that everybody's talking about because I didn't know what I didn't know, and I had just started my cleaning company. And jumped into it.
What would be those things that you do more often in those times when you were starting to get to that point? Like what you were doing, like outside of the ads?
Network. No, well, when I first started, I didn't have any ads because, you know, and Ray could probably argue this or agree is that when we're small, we have to have enough money to compete with the larger cleaning companies, right? And they have a good budget, and I'm over here little. I just started. And so when I first started, I did networking. I didn't have ads. I didn't have paid ads. I put all my time and effort into, like I said, BNI groups, the chamber, hustle, like getting out and actually hustling and growing my cleaning company. And then I added the paid ads, but I didn't know anything about Google AdWords or anything when I first started. I just knew that I was great at talking to people and great at selling our cleaning.
Yeah, people are looking for trustworthy house cleaners, and the number one way that you can help them feel comfortable about that is by putting yourself out there. They want to know that you're, you know, somebody they can trust to at least vet other trustworthy people to be in their home. So
yeah. Someone asked what BNI is, and it stands for Business Networking International. It is like a global group, but there are other things. Like I said, chamber, there are other. So just Google or Facebook, like local networking groups in my area. Super powerful. You don't need a ton of money. You just need some time.
Yeah, in the beginning, that's what we have is time, right? We're looking for work. We're chasing down jobs. And that's when your opportunity to start with that local hustle. Here's the thing. Don't ever stop on the local hustle. Always keep that up. Because that's like, you know, it's frustrating because we really focus on digital marketing, and that is only half of your growth. But people come to me and expect it to be 100% of their growth. Right? Hey, I'm going to give Ray $2,000 a month to manage my SEO and Google ads, and he's going to blow up my business to $1 million. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it doesn't. But they put all the weight on my shoulders to grow their business and do nothing for themselves. They're not out there local. They're not out there shaking hands with their local chamber of commerce, joining the BNIs, talking to local business owners, getting it out there. That's the other half of this. We have one client who's a little over 4 million. Half of their hustle is local. We've got another client who's at like 2.5. Half of their hustle is local. We're only half of what they do, not 100% of what they do. Now, when those local people go online, you want to be there, right? So there is some synergy in those marketing efforts. So go local first, grow. You can get to 20 grand. 20 grand is easy. You can get to 30 grand. 30 grand is easy. 40 grand, it's still kind of easy. Going beyond that, that's when it gets tough. That's when you start to have the marketing dollars. That's when you start to have the spend that you can start investing, putting some digital marketing in, and then growing your business. But you should be able to grow it yourself until you can afford to pay somebody to help you grow it.
I like what
So-
Paul just said. He said that we forget that our first position is sales. I hear time and again, like we're all in sales now. Like you just
Yeah.
are. We're all
Yeah.
in sales.
Everything to sell. I keep trying to sell my husband on certain things every single day. Like,
Exactly.
Albert, I was going to say that too, is even being at 4 million in between any of my sales calls still to this day, I will have in my calendar logged in real estate offices, high rises that are new, and I put little baskets together with a bunch of diva cards, and it might have too many pies and a magic eraser and a pen and a pad, because I can't get any of those high rises on the phone. But guess what? They remember me from coming and dropping the pies. And just like you said, the hustle continues. I still do at least 8 cold calls of my own at 4 million with a staff of 85 to this day. And that's where the real connections happen. Like women in construction, CRE 615, Chamber of Commerce. I could name you probably 10 organizations of events that I go to constantly. And that's when you're going to meet people and they're going to remember you because of your brand and be able to refer you for down the road who they might know someone that's warm to them that might be your $1 million lead, like Libby said. So the hustle never stops. And I used to stay up till midnight making those pies. Thank God I have somebody that makes them now for me.
well, to what Ray was saying, I have personal experience in this. So I was super invested in my community. I was a member of the chamber and BNI. I worked for BNI. The reason I took the job to be a BNI consultant was so I could go visit all the other chapters for free and sell my cleaning. And I got busy and I thought that I didn't need it anymore. So to everyone who out there is like, I thought that I didn't need it anymore. And so I quit all of that because I was too busy traveling for other things and other businesses I had. And we felt the impact of that when we stopped, and we're now going back. We've started this year going back to joining the chambers, going back to doing more networking, women in business, the local women's realtor groups, because we felt that local vibe kind of it went away. And so I personally have gone through it, quit, thought I was too busy. And we're like, oh no, I need to go back to it. And I also felt a disconnection from my own community that I was kind of missing and I wanted to return to.
Yeah, and when you get to a certain size, you can hire it out, right? Get somebody part-time. There's a mom sitting somewhere that would rock this in your community. And even if you're not comfortable with being that person, let them be that person. Create some kind of clean their house for them, right?
Yeah.
Let them go hustle your name. This is hustle time. It's time to think outside the box. It's time to make ideas that nobody's ever done work in your local community.
So there's so many people.
Afternoon.
Good morning. Go ahead, Cindy.
I'm sorry. I joined in late. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I don't have my camera, but I'm from Las Vegas. My name is Cindy Lopez, and I own my own janitorial and safety consulting services. And I've been in the commercial industry for 30 years. And I work with major corporations like ABM. So I just wanted to introduce myself.
Hi, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
To all of our new members and current members and large companies and small companies, Ray was talking about the hustle. Everyone is talking crap about the hustle right now. They're like, I'm over the
No.
hustle. And they're like, oh, the hustle's overrated. And I'm over
No.
here looking. I said, I'm glad you're tired of hustling because I'm not, and I'm gonna beat all you guys.
No,
Right.
because
I'm
because
like,
of my
take a break.
because of my hustle, because of the hustle, I hustle 24/7 for my clients, for myself, for my company, for everybody. I hustle. I'm a strong believer of networking. That's my little dog. That's Lily. But if I didn't hustle, I wouldn't land. I just landed. I mean, it was a one time, but it's open for more business for Google. for a database here in Las Vegas. We went in, I sold the job for about what was it, for carpet cleaning, for extraction, and a couple of offices for final cleaning, giving my client a little bit more than 50% of profit and myself a good commission. So it was a good sell, and for it to be from me, coming directly from me. Not that my sales didn't come from anybody else, but for my company, it was an accomplishment that I have.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you for sharing, Cindy.
We are getting at the
Um,
bottom of the hour, or the bottom
Breakout
of the,
time.
yeah, I wanted to share my screen real quick and show you something. I've seen a couple people had asked questions about the ISSA show. So I kind of wanted to pull up the website and kind of explain how you can find information. So let me see if my screen will share quickly. And of course, when you want it to, it doesn't. All right, can you see that?
Nope.
No,
No?
There
now
we
we
go.
can.
No, okay. This is the ISSA Show website. So welcome. This is when you go to ISSAShow.com. This will bring you to the ISSA Show website. To find, obviously everything in the top navigation right here, we have where you can register here. But if you want to look and see what's on schedule there, you can click on, there's a high level overview for the show schedule. If you click on show schedule, it gives you a very high level overview of what is on tap each day. So you can click on each day and get a general idea. As I said before, like Monday is just education day. And then on Tuesday through Thursday, we have the show floors open. And there's education in the classrooms every day, and there's education on the show floor. To attend the ISSA show, one of the things that you would register for would be an all access pass. And if you go here, no, shoot, it didn't show what I wanted it to. The All Access Pass is your ticket to have everything that you want to see at the ISSA show, which includes all of the education in the classrooms, all of the education on the show floor, the networking events. We didn't even talk about the residential roundtables. So like there's a lot at the ISSA show. So I want to make sure that you experience that. But I want to make sure that you also see, like we brought to you today, 3 of our education speakers. And I think we're going to have a fabulous education program for you. But I want you to be able to see, everybody else that's going to be speaking. So if you click on education sessions, and it'll bring you this page that has all of the education. If you go down here and click by attendee interest, and you scroll down and click on residential services, that'll bring up everything that I have tagged for educate for residential. So that way you can see what we have in the classroom on Monday. You can see what we have in the classroom on Tuesday and Wednesday, as well as what we have on the show floor. Paul and Ray will both be speaking on the show floor. So anybody that has a show pass to the show floor, you will be able to hear Paul and Ray. Allie is actually speaking in a classroom. So you actually have to have the all access pass to get in the classroom, because there will be people there checking your badges to make sure that you have the right badge. So if you have any questions about what to register for, please feel free to reach out to me, and I can kind of walk you through, the different passes that we have at the show. But I want to make sure that you are able to see all of the education that we have here, because like I said, we've got Trent Lowenstein will be back. He was with us for the first time last year. We have Debbie Sardone speaking on Monday. We have Libby Delusion is speaking on Monday. And then our residential roundtables are at the end of the day on Monday. And typically, what we do with the residential roundtables, we have 3 rounds, and we will have probably 12 to 15 tables in the room. And we allow each person, we usually have our speakers moderate the tables. So when the attendees come in, you can kind of pick the tables that you want to go to. A lot of times, like I said, they're the speakers at the show. We invite all of our speakers to be a moderator at the round table. So usually if they're in town, the speakers love to come in and join in the round tables as well. But you have 3 rounds of, are they 20 or 30 minutes? I think 20, 25 minutes.
I think they were only 20.
That's what I thought. So we have 3 rounds of 20 minutes, but that way you can do some Q&A with the speakers afterwards. So I want to make sure, if you're interested in the show, I know this is throwing a lot at you right now, but there's a lot at the show.
Also at the show are the Professional Image Awards. If you are a member and you want to nominate, your nominations are due by July 31st. So I wanted to mention that and send the link. There's 2 nominations available, one for an office team member and then one for a professional cleaner on your team. Yeah, so the link is there. If you are a participating company, you definitely want to get those nominations in. And then it is at the show, correct, Erin, who the winners are?
Yes, we're going to do those. We're going to present the awards at our residential coffee and conversation, which is going to be Tuesday morning. So we have about an hour and a half in the clean meat zone where we're going to do a panel on culture. I do believe Libby and Lacey are going to host that. And we've got 3 different speakers that are going to be joining us to talk about culture.
Awesome. So this call we're going to have in person. So if you'd like to kind of be part of that discussion in person, meet everybody that's here, it's great to connect with everyone in person. It's just so different. So we're going to do a live coffee and conversation on Tuesday, November 11th on culture. So it'll be super fun to connect and kind of just meet each other in person. We're all much taller in person than we are on Zoom.
Are we really? That doesn't happen.
Some of us can't say that.
No. I'm still 5 feet tall in person.
Yeah.
So are we ready for our breakout rooms, Erin?
We are. I have one more thing I want to do a reminder on. Next week, we have our residential members only mastermind groups. And I don't know, Libby, do you want to talk about those? Because those have been some powerful groups for people.
Yes, so we meet once a quarter, and typically myself, Jeannie, and Lee Sheridan lead these members only residential mastermind groups. And we segment everyone into revenue sizes, and we go into breakout rooms. We have a worksheet so that we can work through certain things. That way, if somebody needs something and you heard someone else say they just won on that or figured that out, we can create connection and collaborate. And we break out into, I can't remember the revenue sizes, but I think it is $500,000, from $500,000 to $1 million, and then $1 million and beyond. And I lead the $500,000 group. And then again, Jeannie Henderson is there as well, and Lee Sheridan, as we know, is a successful cleaning company owner. And it's a great group. It's members only, and I would be in that room because you have, not to toot my own horn, but at least Jeannie Henderson, who is a coach, and people pay her for her time. She volunteers for ISSA as well as myself. We volunteer to lead those masterminds and also be a part of the group as well.
Yep.
You want to share anything,
You're
Jeannie?
muted. You're muted, Erin.
Muted. I'm trying to talk. I put the link for the mastermind in there. And again, that is members only. And so we will check that. But I encourage you, if you're interested in being part of this mastermind group and you're a member of ISSA, this is a place you want to be. If you want a residential cleaning company, this is a place you want to be. If you're not a member, please reach out to Alejandra. She can talk to you about membership and how it can benefit you in so many different ways.
Jeannie, you want to add anything about the mastermind group?
Well, you did a great job, Libby, and it's been our initial meetings with the mastermind groups have been really great conversations, and I've met a lot of new people through those mastermind groups. So getting connected, one of the biggest benefits of ISSA is community. Ray was talking about that a little bit, how once you meet people, you keep coming back to those people at different stages in the growth of your business for support and advice, and we cheer each other on. So take these opportunities to get connected, just like you want to get connected in your local community. It's also important to get connected in the industry community as well to keep growing and learning, because the people who are learners are the ones who are winning, right? We have to keep learning.
Or we're earners.
Learners are earners, yes.
Yeah, surround yourself by successful people and you will become successful.
For sure.
Right? That's the motto. You're as wealthy as your 5 closest friends.
Awesome. All right. We're going to go into breakout rooms.
Yes. What I'll do is open a room for now. Ray, Allie, Paul, are you all able to stay? Because I can open the breakout rooms. We could do some Q&A. I would say we could do Q&A here, but it gets a little hard with different questions. So I will open the rooms now. If you need me to assign you to a room, please let me know.